Okay, picture this. It's your first day at a new company. We'll call it Tour Tech. You are ready to make a great impression. Your new manager asks you to draft a company-wide memo. So you do what most of us would do. You open up a fresh blank document, ready to go. But then your manager stops you with a piece of advice that changes everything. They hand you a file, maybe they point you to a folder, and they say, always start from this. Never, ever start from a blank page. Now, that might sound like just a simple little rule, but trust me, it's the bedrock of how professional companies maintain their brand, how they build trust, and frankly, how they get things done efficiently. And that really begs the question, right? I mean, what's the big deal? A blank page feels like freedom. It's a fresh start, a clean slate. So what is so fundamentally wrong with it? Well, let's dive in and really unpack the professional's playbook. So the answer to that question lies in what the pros use instead. They don't start from scratch, they start with a blueprint. And in the world of documents, that blueprint has a name. It's called a template. This is so much more than just making things look pretty. It's a totally different way of thinking about your work.
So what exactly is a template? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a blueprint for a house. It's a pre-built file where all the big decisions, the formatting, the fonts, the official company colors, where the logo goes, all that stuff is already set up for you. It completely takes the guesswork out of the equation.
And this is where you can really see the difference it makes. When you start with a blank page, you're almost guaranteed to get inconsistencies. You end up wasting so much time just messing around with fonts and margins, and it's super easy to make formatting mistakes. A template, on the other hand, it instantly makes sure everything is brand consistent. And that's not just about aesthetics. It actually builds trust and makes you look more professional with every single thing you send. It saves a ton of time and just gives your work a polished look from the get-go.
Okay, but here's the thing. Just using a template isn't the whole story. The real secret, the thing that truly separates the amateurs from the pros, is knowing how to use something called styles. This right here is the absolute game changer. And this brings us to the single biggest mistake that people make. Seriously, even when they do the right thing and start with a template, they do something that completely undermines its power. It wastes all the time that the template was designed to save in the first place. Does this look familiar to you? You highlight some text for a heading, you go up to the toolbar, you click the bold button, maybe you bump up the font size. That's the manual way. We've all done it. It feels fast in the moment, but it is so inefficient, and it's what leads to those little inconsistencies all over your document. The mistake is just completely ignoring this little, often overlooked feature, the Styles panel. It's sitting right there in Word, in Google Docs, and it holds all the real power of the template. Now check out the Pro way. It's a simple two-step process. You select your text, and you click a predefined style, like heading 1 or a body text. That's it. Every single heading 1 in your document will now look exactly the same. Perfect consistency, one click. But here's the real magic. Imagine your boss comes back and says, hey, can we make all the headings blue? Instead of hunting for every single heading and changing them one by one, you just update the heading 1 style. And boom, every heading in the document changes instantly. That's the key. Stop formatting by hand and start using styles. Okay, so you're sold. Templates are the way to go, and you're ready to start using styles. But what does this actually look like in your day-to-day workflow? I mean, where do you find these things? Let's get practical. The great news is they are literally everywhere. Both Microsoft Word and Google Docs have these awesome built-in galleries with templates for just about anything. Memos, reports, resumes, you name it. If you're working at a company, there's a good chance they're on a shared drive or the company intranet. And of course, you can always make your own. And making your own is way easier than it sounds. You just set up a document exactly the way you want it, get your fonts right, your colors, and most importantly, define your styles for things like headings and body text. Then, instead of just hitting save, you save it as a template file. In Word, that's a .docx file, or you can add it to your template gallery in Google Docs. And here's a fantastic pro tip for today's world. You can totally supercharge this whole process with AI. You can ask a tool like ChatGPT to generate the actual content for you. Just a simple prompt like, create a professional memo for internal business communication can give you the perfect text to drop right into your beautiful, pre-formatted template. It's a huge time saver. So let's bring it all home. We've journeyed from that scary, intimidating blank page to having a powerful professional blueprint. What are the absolute key things you need to remember to make this your new standard? Here it is, nice and simple. First, make it a non-negotiable rule. Always start with a template. Second, always remember why you're doing it. For consistency, to save time, and to look professional. And finally, the most important takeaway of all, the real pro move is to ditch the manual formatting and embrace the power of styles. This isn't just about going faster, it's about building smarter, more flexible documents from the very beginning. And that leaves us with one final thought. We've seen how this whole template mindset can bring structure and efficiency to our documents. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Where else in your work, from project plans to your emails, even to presentations, where else can this blueprint-first approach completely transform your results?